Welcome to this demonstration of the KI Wall, Genius System for Autodesk Revit. This video provides a general overview of the Genius Revit content and demonstrates recommended workflows for using the system within your projects. For more in-depth information about the topics covered in this video, please refer to the written guide that is provided within the container file. The Genius Revit content download includes a single Revit project file, a Revit material library file, and a zipped folder containing material textures. We'll start by opening the container file. This content was developed in Revit 2019, ensuring compatibility with projects in Revit 2019 and later. The container file opens to a floor plan view that is divided into several sections. In the lower left-hand corner of the plan, you'll see a note in red text labeled "Start Here." This note points to the written documentation that explains how to use the Genius system in detail. In this video, we won't be covering that documentation. Instead, we'll begin by reviewing the System Family Components section, which is located in the upper left-hand corner of the plan. This section is divided into 3 columns. The first column, labeled Curtain Wall Types, contains 9 pre-configured Genius wall types. These represent the most common panel configurations used when modeling Genius walls. In most situations, you will primarily use the first 3 wall types: glass panel, solid panel, and flyover. The remaining wall types support more specific conditions, such as horizontal panel layouts and cornice wall configurations. Cornice wall types are used when creating partial height walls, where the system stops below the ceiling and includes a cornice cap detail at the top of the wall. Cornice wall types that include an off-the-top fairing can be used when adding an acoustic tile ceiling to a room. Genius walls utilize a nested curtain wall structure. Each wall contains an overall curtain wall, which represents the system's frame, and a nested curtain wall, which contains the curtain panels. The system is structured this way to allow 2 mullions to be placed at the end of a wall run, one at the end of the nested curtain wall, and the other at the end of the overall curtain wall. In the real system, a connector component sits between the end mullion and the panel assembly. The nested structure allows that condition to be represented accurately within Revit. By default, the walls do not include predefined curtain grid layouts. This allows users to place curtain grids as needed to match the desired panel configuration. When manually adding curtain grids to a Genius wall, it is important to pay attention to the system's nested structure. Curtain grids must be placed within the nested curtain wall in order to achieve the correct mullion condition. Correct placement will show temporary dimensions between existing grid lines and the new grid line. After placement, 3 mullions will be visible at the grid line. Incorrect placement will show temporary dimensions spanning the full wall. After placement, 4 mullions will appear, indicating the grid line was placed on the overall curtain wall instead of the nested curtain wall. Use the mullion condition as a visual check to confirm that the grid has been placed correctly. If you would like to add an automated grid layout to the wall, simply select the nested curtain wall and edit the vertical grid layout within the wall's type properties. Next, let's take a look at the Curtain Wall Mullions section. Here, you'll find a variety of vertical and horizontal mullion types that can be used to customize Genius wall configurations. Proper usage of each vertical mullion type is demonstrated in the Corner and Intersection Conditions section of the container file, which we will cover shortly. The horizontal mullion types are used at the tops and bases of Genius walls. By default, all Genius wall types are set to use a recessed ceiling rail for the top mullion and a 4-inch base for the bottom mullion. If a different base or ceiling option is desired, simply edit the type properties of the overall curtain wall and modify the horizontal mullion settings. To the right of the curtain wall mullions section is the curtain wall panel types section. Here, you will find several curtain panel types that can be incorporated into Genius wall designs. All curtain panel types in this section are contained within two separate curtain panel families. The family called KI Wall Genius Glass Panel contains all of the glass panel types, while the family called KI Wall Genius Solid Plus Combination Panel contains all of the solid and combination panel types. To replace a Genius curtain panel, select the panel within the nested curtain wall. Then unpin the panel and change its type from the Properties palette. The panel families include parameters that allow you to customize each panel. Customizable features include glass panel transition heights, shell heights for solid panels, and combination panels. Each side can be controlled independently. Material finishes per shell. An outlet position for panel types that include electrical devices. At the bottom of the curtain wall panel types section, you'll find a collection of pre-made frameless outside glass corner conditions. These conditions can be reused by copying and pasting them from the container file into your project file, or they can be recreated from scratch. To create a frameless outside glass corner, start by drawing two perpendicular glass wall segments. Select the mullions at the corner, then unpin and delete them. Select and unpin one of the glass panels, then locate and modify the outside corner instance parameters until the correct miter orientation is achieved. Repeat this process for the second panel to complete the condition. By default, Revit struggles with drawing this condition neatly and will not miter panels together at the corner. Using custom parameters is necessary to achieve a clean and accurate result. It is also important to know that frameless outside glass corners are a highly custom option for the Genius system and should only be used when necessary. By default, please configure outside glass corners by adding a corner post mullion at the intersection between the two wall segments. Next, we'll take a look at the corner/intersection conditions section. This section contains several pre-built corner and intersection conditions that demonstrate proper usage of each vertical mullion type. For more complex conditions, you can copy and paste these pre-made intersections into your project to ensure accuracy. These examples serve both as references and reusable components. Each example also contains a callout that links to a drafting view with a corresponding detail for the condition. These details can be transferred to your project file for inclusion in construction document sets. The next section contains a collection of doors that can be added to Genius walls. Curtain wall hosted and wall hosted variations of all door types are provided. Due to the nested structure of Genius curtain walls, adding doors to the system is slightly more complicated than adding doors to standard curtain walls. The typical process of adding a door to a curtain wall involves unpinning the curtain panel where you would like the door to go, and then swapping the panel with the door using the type selector. After the door has been placed, you can unpin and delete the section of base mullion that runs under the door. However, if you attempt this process on a Genius wall, you will find that you are unable to delete this base mullion section. This is because panel divisions occur within the nested curtain wall, not the overall curtain wall. The solution to this problem is to add a grid line to the overall curtain wall. Then, unpin and replace the panel within the nested curtain wall with a door. After that, you can unpin and delete any extra mullions around the door frame. Just like Genius curtain panels, Genius doors have several parameters that can be modified. Here's a quick demonstration of the most important parameters that are included. All Genius curtain panel and door families come with a built-in warning message system that will alert you if the system has been configured in an invalid manner. If a warning condition is triggered, a message in red text will appear next to the curtain panel or door that has a configuration error. To remove the warning, adjust the dimensions of the curtain panel segment so they fall within the allowable range displayed in the message. If multiple configuration errors are present, the warning messages will display one at a time until all errors have been resolved. The final section of the container file is the Standard Finishes section. Here, you will find several material swatches that are organized into the following categories: glass, anodized aluminum, non-textured powder coat, textured powder coat, wood, and laminate. Copying these swatches over to your project file will transfer their associated materials as well. These materials can then be assigned to the different components of the Genius system within your project. For the most up-to-date information on available system finishes, please follow the link or scan the QR code that is provided at the top of this section. Please note that for some materials to display and render correctly, you must link the custom texture files that are included in the content download. For instructions on how to do this, please refer to Section 1 of the written guide that is provided within the container file. That concludes this demonstration of the KI Wall Genius system for Autodesk Revit. If you have any questions or encounter issues while using this content, please email us at info@kiwall.com or call 800-424-2432 for assistance. Thank you for watching.